Welcome to What's Up Wednesday with Mardissa. I hope you had a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in again. And if you missed our first episode, please go to Mardissa and at YouTube. So you can always watch the next day at YouTube. Probably by noon it should be up. And I want to make sure that you also know that this is a safe place for real people, having real conversations about mental health, music, love, relationships, parenting, no judgment, no pretending. So we're going to get right on in it, okay? So, want to make sure that everybody do their morning ritual. Okay, let's talk about the morning ritual. We talked about a little bit last week, but let's talk about when we wake up in the morning, we're going to say thank you, God, because sometimes, we forget, but we want to make sure we give him his glory. I want you guys to grab your cell phones. I'm going to give you a minute if you're not already have it in your hand. Grab your cell phones, and whatever time you wake up in the morning, make sure to put on that alarm that thanking God. Also to go to Miles Monroe and listen to one of his sermons, and they're only about 30 minutes long. I always listen to it when I'm in the shower, when I'm doing my makeup, actually when I'm in the car driving to work as well. So it can just be all into your system, so you can just make sure that it's there. Remember, 21 days makes a habit. So after 21 days, you should be good. Even on the weekends, do it, because guess what? We don't know what we're going to face outside of our walls where we live. Like I said last week, we can only control what's in our house. Okay? But when we walk outside, we don't know what's going on, what's going to happen. So we want to stay prayed up. We want to remember to breathe. And, not just be so snappy. Once we breathe and we just take a minute, we don't react so quickly. Because I realize that a lot of people, they react and then the consequences come later. Okay? So let's not react. Let's just be like, you know what? Somebody cut you off, like I said last week. Hey, evidently they had somewhere to go more than you. So you want to make sure that, we just give people that grace. Okay? So like I said, set those alarms on your phone. Also, when I set alarms, I have alarms that says breathe in. I have an alarm that comes on at 4 p.m. that say don't give up, keep going, because you never know what you're thinking. Your mind is a stinky thinking, like I used to tell my clients back in the day. So don't let that idle mind get to thinking those negative thoughts. Make sure to, as you fill your cup up every day with positivity, and after that you'll go to, it'll be like, you know what, the positive thoughts will enter and knock out those negative thoughts. But we have to practice. We have to retrain our mind. Retrain our mind to get all that negativity out. And while I'm talking about negativity, when you're on social media, it has an algorithm. That algorithm, wherever you stop, it's going to keep feeding you that. So if you keep stopping on negativity stuff, people fighting, somebody got shot, somebody got killed, it's going to keep feeding you that. But guess what? When you start stopping on positivity, it's going to continue to feed you positive things. And after that, you're not going to see negative things because it knows that you're not going to stop there, and it's just going to be wiped out. So remember that. It runs by algorithm. Okay? Because all that negativity that's feeding your head, stress you out, you don't even need to do that. You know what I mean? We want to save our energy. We're going to save our health, because the more stressed you are, the more, your high blood pressure go up. You end up taking pills that you really don't need. So we want to make sure that we stay as healthy as possible and as conscious as possible. But we also have to make sure, like I said, to retrain our brain, okay? So I'm going to get into who did their vision board, okay? Even though I did say that I wasn't, but I ended up going with some friends and doing a vision board. So this is my vision board. I was just like, okay, I'll go. My favorite color is yellow and red. My kids probably like, oh, you red, red, red. but yellow is one of my favorite colors as well. So this year, I just decided, like, mental health. Everything about mental health. Relaxing, staying blessed, doing some traveling, reading my Bible, of course, getting with my sister friends, believing that this too shall pass. So you want to see that? You guys can see. I know it's a little difficult, but I definitely, this is probably one of the best vision boards that I did that didn't really stress me out about like money and, getting that job or whatever. But you know what? I feel that with all this here, believing and dreaming and praying, all that will come. God knows exactly what we need. When one door closes, another door opens. So we have to believe that. And that's the part when I talk about things are going on, we have to retrain our mind that God is in control. Things look a little down, the devil just taking over at every corner, every stop sign. But we have to know that, you know what? He did not bring us this far. He did not bring us this far. So we want to make sure. So you see that? That's so cute. I got some butterflies. I got some yellow boots that this year we did boots on the ground. And I had yellow boots, so I found something that had yellow and the sunshine and everything. I'm just a bright person who loves colors, as you see. And everything is just about, being blessed and just being okay with you. Okay? So you can put in the comments if you decided to make you one. If not, don't worry about it. But I just got with some friends last night, and I'm like, okay, why not? Okay? So that's one of the things. Also, we talk about mental health. And when we talk about mental health, we don't, we don't do things individual for ourselves. So when you're getting ready and you're getting, men, women, and you're in the mirror, you combing your hair, like Jennifer Lewis said, girl, you look good. Compliment yourself. Love the skin that you in. Don't forget to take care of you, because this is about you. And if you can't be good to you, you can't be good to anyone else. So own it. And you get the new little shirt or new little makeup, new lipstick, because this is cute. I'm loving this new makeup over here. And just compliment yourself. Take care of you. Okay? So I need you guys to take care of you. And we'll talk about let me tell you what is the sexiest compliment that I observed. So, love my black men, love my men. But Denzel Washington and Delray Luden, he played in Crooklyn, Delray did, and he played in Sinners. So Denzel Washington decided that he wanted to do a platform and just give him his flowers. We always give our women a flower, but he gave another man flowers, and I loved it. They couldn't compliment each other enough. And Denzel was like, no, man, this is about you. He's like, yeah, but I gotta say that you the dude, you that guy, right? And I just loved seeing black men coming together, and because we always hear about fighting and killing and stepping on my shoe and this and that, but to see black men, that is the most sexiest thing I've seen. So they talked about Sinners, the movie, because it was amazing. If you have not saw Sinners, please go see it. Let me find out. Well, don't go see it, but find somewhere. Maybe YouTube has it. People bootleg all the time. No, they don't. So go, see that, because he played a really good part. But getting back to compliments and retraining your brain, he talked about, Delray talked about in the beginning when he started acting. And when he started acting, actors, if people don't know, because some people don't know, that they have a little dry spot. So he had a dry spot about 8 months, and he actually went to work with special needs. But on his way one day, he was walking down the street from an audition that he just knew he nailed, but then he found out later that he did not. It was a cab driver right at the corner of the stop sign, and he said, hey, aren't you that guy? Man, stick with it. You gonna be all right. You gonna be good. And Delray say, you know what? That was a word from God. And it gave him that push to go. So when we talk about compliments, you know, and then compliments, they make a person feel good. But they also, it's a sign from God to say, keep going. Because, you know, sometimes God tells us, we're in our word, and God tells us things, but we don't believe until, you know, somebody got to knock you in the face, and that's pretty much me. Somebody got to knock you in the head and say, hey, you okay? You doing good. You came a long way. You know, give yourself a compliment, right? So, but one other time, he also talked about a guy, you know, those guys riding the bike and they're the messengers back in the day. I don't know if they still do it. And some guy, he said he turned around and said, hey, guy, hey, I saw you in some movies. Man, you was really good. Stick with that. That's when he was at his lowest again. So a lot of times we don't know. And I know that I give compliments to what I'll tell you in a minute. Girl, that's cute. You working that. I don't care if it's the grocery store, walking down the street. One time I was driving and I hollered out the window. I was like, girl, you was working that. And guess what? It put such a smile on her face because we don't know what people are going through. But when you feel that, and a lot of times we don't get that enough, is to be able to say, girl, you're going to be all right. So make sure to reprogram your mind to give compliments to your wife, to your husband. Men need it because, you know, black men, they need it a lot. So make sure to lift him up and say, you know what, babe, I see you. And you're doing good. And I'm proud of you. And vice versa. Because we have to remember, sometimes, you know, it gets so much that we may take people for granted. You know, we don't mean to because it's like, well, they know that I know that they the best, that they everything, you know, but tell them. People love affirmations. So make sure that you tell your person or whoever, you know, you see something cute, compliment that person. Some cute shoes, because you know women, we love some shoes, honey, yes we do. But I love a well-dressed man too, and I would tell him, you look good in that suit. You look good, you was working that suit. The Silver Fox, I don't know if you guys ever heard of them, but baby, they is working that. They brought back the sexiness, the three-piece with the different colors. Also, I think that other guy's name is Don Morrison. He has his children dressed from like when they were younger, getting them kids in that mindset of this is the way you dress. We don't sag, we don't do that. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why we're still doing it, but it needs to be gone, okay? And also when we talk about positive reinforcement, statistics also says that when a child starts kindergarten, they have like 100% of confidence. By the time they get to high school, that confidence is almost depleted. So when you see your child, your grandchildren, I don't have grandkids yet. I know I talked about it last week, but ain't nobody ready. But okay, anyway, back. Okay, you might say stay focused. So anyway, make sure you compliment that child. We got to go back to retraining our brain. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm just saying if you do, that's good. And if you don't, let's do it again, okay? So let's make sure that when your child sees you, that they see that glow in your eyes. I know my kids, they get tired. I know, Mama, we know you love us. We know. But you know what? You can't tell your kids enough that you love them. You know, the things that I've been through in my life, my kids are my greatest accomplishments. And I do have some degrees and some little stuff, but that don't amount nothing from watching those little people grow up to adults. And I'm still with amazement when I think about my kids. So make sure that you always pour into your children. And, you know, pour in because it's some tough time. And they going through a lot of things as well. In school, you know, we grew up, because I'm 61. You know, I look good, I know. But when we grew up, it wasn't all this bullying going on. And it wasn't all this social media that people can hide behind social media and talking, you know, tag kids and, you know, all these different things that these kids are doing. And so make sure you stop, get off that cell phone when you pick them up from school, when they come in, and let them know, hey, how was your day? Oh, okay. So when my kids came home, I wasn't a one answer. They know Mama talked. So you're not going to give me it was okay. No, you're going to tell me something about what went on today. Okay? Because guess what? We relearned everything from what we forgot from high school, elementary with our kids, because, you know, things are always changing. So I was like, oh, my God. Especially my son. I'm like, he's a little genius. And all my kids are geniuses, but I would say I favor him, but whatever. But anyway, but I enjoy listening to them, the fascinating how excited they are and excited about school and a subject or something that they learn. So like I said, we have to retrain our kids to be the best because the world is out there and the world is taking no prisoners, okay? So we have to make sure, grab them, hug them. Statistics also say that sometimes people ain't had a hug and don't even get hugs daily. You know what I mean? So make sure that you grab that child, you hug them, you tell them how proud they are, that you are of them, whatever they bring home, that painting, from that kindergarten up to 12th grade, up to college. You always want to make sure your kids, they get that first job. I got pictures of all my kids, their first little job, okay? And I was like, oh, they're like, Mama, go, 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 go. And I'm like, no, Mama, not going nowhere. Mama goes, I'm so happy. But, my kids just grew up so fast, and I just love watching them and listening to them and listen to the conversation because I'm like, oh my, these little people, and they teach me so much as well. Like I'm old fashioned because I'm 61, but they're like, no, Mama, not that, no, not that, no. But then I'm gonna still put my little 2 cents in there, but I'm gonna look at it objectively. So I want to make sure, like, oh, okay, all right, I got that, I understand that very well. So when we talk about reinforcements, again, self-esteem, confidence, in order to be a happy person, a happy parent, you have to be a happy person first. So you have to find the joy within yourself. Like I'm a kid inside. Like I like to laugh, I love music, I like to dance, I like to do all those things because guess what? To just be so serious, it can be very stressful. So find the fun, find that little kid in you. I definitely enjoyed that vision board. Also coloring. Go back to some of the things that really relaxed you. You know what I mean? So the bubble baths I talked about last week. A lot of older people getting back and going skating. They have skate night that's really safe to go. There's not so many older kids there. So, make sure that you do that. Also, like I said, is the Daniel. So, what else we gonna talk about? So, how did you guys like that song, Tevin Campbell? I really, I was listening this morning, like I tell you, 100%. I always listen to something that is positive. So I heard that this morning, and I'm like, you know what? We do need to get together. This world could be a better place if each one teach one how to be happy. If your circle of friends, you can be like, hey girl, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? And not just like how you doing and don't listen. Or that's kind of like them people when they say, girl, I'm going to pray for you. You didn't get home, they don't even pray for you. So really pray for people. They don't pray for them. We all need prayer. So make sure that you pray for each person, okay? So, let's see what else. I enjoy doing this. I decided that I wanted to do this, again, like I said, is everybody got a platform. But guess what? Everybody can learn from each other. Something, because I listen to other people's motivational things. I have a friend that does Talk About It Tuesday. I really enjoy talking and listening to her. So everybody can get something from something. So make sure, like I said, the healthy relationships. And also, when I talked about, the difference between being nice and being kind. It's a big difference, okay? Because somebody could be nice. That just means, like Oprah said, you do nice things. You give presents, you do nice things. But to be kind is when someone tells you that they're hurting, someone says something that you want to jump, that reflex is going to be like, what can I do? What can I do to make it better? What can I do to help you? It may not be nothing, but sometimes people just like, whoa, shoot. I don't even really know, but you know what? Thank you. Let me think about that. So make sure that you're there. We have to be there for each other because like I said, I can't express it enough. All this is going on in the world. We got to join together. We have to retrain our minds And like I said, compliments is the best thing. But also, number one, taking care of you. Taking care of you. So, the shout outs, thank you so much for everybody who came. Also, I want to say that Michelle Obama, that's my favorite person in the world, among others. Her birthday is January 17th, and she will be 62, like most of us. Who was born in 1964, but she'll be 62. So I've been reading this book. Like I tell you, I try to read everything that's positive. I don't want no negativity in here. We done been through that. So this is the book, The Light We Carry. And the light that we carry, she talks about, like I said, a lot of things from home. Because I'm from East St. Louis originally. I know California, y'all think I'm not, but I'm not from there, okay? I am from East St. Louis, Illinois. It's 4 hours from Chicago. So when I read this book, in her book, Becoming, a lot of things were so familiar because I've been gone for like 43 years. I left when I was 18. But you know how sometimes you can never go home again, or you can go back home again? When I ate that Shantae Paul yesterday, I was like, back home. Yes, I was. Anyway, so, but listening to it and getting grounded again, because I remember my grandmother, I used to always go see her every couple of years just to get grounded again, to get that foundation, because we all have a foundation that we was grown up with, you know, as far as how to be kind to each other, how to help your neighbor. You know how when you came home from school and you got in trouble in the block, somebody already whipped your butt, and then when you get home you're going to get another butt whooping. Well, a lot of this stuff is pretty familiar, and that's why I say we have to train our brain to be better people, because we didn't grow up this way, people. And this is just the devil. And we have to make sure that we retrain our brain. I can't say it enough. I'm sorry. I want to get to that's all you hear is retrain your brain. Consciousness, okay? Not to be unconscious, because we've been moving around too unconscious. So it is time to be conscious. So I'm going to talk about this book next week. Just some little pointers or whatever. You want to get in and read it or whatever, you can. So like I said, hey, Michelle. Hey, Cousin Michelle. We had a long talk yesterday. Yes, we did. We was talking about a little bit of everything, huh, cousin? Huh. So, I'm going to sign off, but I want to make sure that you guys know, give yourself a compliment. Do not forget. If you got to put it on your phone, your alarm, put that on there, because you know what? You got to remember, because things go on through the day. Like I say, I have a lot of different ones to say, hey, love yourself. Don't give up. You know, keep on going. Things like that, because you just never know that what may just hit you. You just don't, know. People come and they just start stuff. You see ISIS out there acting real crazy. So you want to make sure of that. So again, see me on YouTube, Mardista Ann, and thank you so much. And we'll be talking about the vision board next week as well. And we'll talk about Michelle's book. So bye.